Welcome to Email Online tutorial. Now before us this question is circle geometry, and it shows that in the diagram below, which is this, O is the center of the circle QRT. This is O here, which is the center. This is Q, R, and T. Now, and PT, okay, is a tangent to the circle at T. We are told to find the value of what? X. Alright, so how do we go about it? Now, first of all, let us look at the center. This is the center. Okay. Now, let us look at, is there any extension of angle from the center? Yes. Now, looking at this, from you can see this point. Now, this line divides the circle into two equal parts, and there is an extension of angle, okay, from the center, okay, which is this. And there's a law or a theorem in circle geometry that says that an angle subtended from a semicircle is 90 degrees. Now, what does that mean? It means that any angle that is stretched from the center of a circle or from a semicircle is 90 degrees. So this is now that angle that is stretched from the semicircle. So here we label here as 90 degrees. Okay, now the next thing we need to look at here now, if you look at this triangle Q, T, and R, now you get to see that it's a triangle and it has two known angles with one unknown angle. So from here, let us just kickstart by locating or finding the value of the unknown angle, since we have two known angles. And you know, we in circle geometry or in geometry in general, the sum of angle in a triangle must be equals to 180. So with that, we can say Q, which is this angle here, plus this angle here, which is 35, now plus this angle here, which is 90, must give us what? 180 degrees. Okay, now when we sum up 35 and 90, I guess this will give us a 125. So Q now plus 125, which is what will give us a 180. Now when we subtract 125 from both sides of the equation, we have that Q will now be 180 minus 125, which should give us 55. So automatically here is 55 degrees. Okay, and however, take note that this is a straight line. Okay, and note that this is what the angle we are looking for. So we are actually solving whatever we are doing to ensure that we find a way to get what x degree. However, this is a straight line, and since this is a straight line, we know that sum of angle in a triangle, angle on a straight line must give us what? 180. Okay, however, a part of the straight line is 55 already. So definitely, when we take 55 away from 180, it gives us what? 125. So here it becomes what? 125. All right. Now take note that this is what we're looking for. Now we've gotten a part of the triangle that makes up P, Q, and T. However, we are left with this part. Okay, so but how do we get this part? Now let's take a look. Now look at this angle and this angle. You see they look alike, which implies that this angle here and this angle are the same or equal. So we can now write here that this is here, this is what? 55 degrees. So which also bring us to angle on a straight line must give us what? 180, which means 55 plus 90 plus whatever angle here must give us what? 180. Okay, so let's label this as okay, let's just say this is Q, T, and P. So angle Q, T, and P now plus 90 degrees plus 55 degrees, all should give us what? 180. Okay, now summing up 90 and 55, I guess this should give us 145. So let me just do it like this: Q, now give us 145 equals what? 180. So when we subtract 145 from both sides, then we have that QTP then equals 180 minus 145. I guess this should give us 35. So QTP. So this angle here gives us what? 35. Okay, so at this point now we've gotten two known angles and remaining x. So at this point now we can say x plus 125 plus 35 should give us what? 180, because sum of angle in a triangle, look at this triangle here, PQR, 180. So here we have that x plus 125 plus 35 should give us what? 180. And when we sum this up, I think we should get 160. So x plus 160 equals what? 180. And when we subtract 160 from both sides, our x here would then be 180 minus 160, which will give us what? 20 degrees. Final answer. So the value of x is 20 degrees. Thank you and God bless you.